Tony! How are you?
I'm all right, guys. Happy to be back.
Lovely to see you, Big Tone.
You've been very quiet lately, Tony, haven't you?
Yeah, I haven't got much to say, obviously, as always.
You've always got plenty to say.
We'll get on to football in a minute. We're not going to muck about, though, because we've got a lot to talk about. Tyson Fury, last week, what a fight against Deontay Wilder. I'm going to let you have the floor, give us your thoughts.
I thought he was fantastic. He stopped him. I'd done the prediction about 4 or 5 days before on the Sport Pestle website, and I said that he would get the stoppage victory, either a late stoppage or points victory. But the closer the fight got, the more I thought, he was going to stop him. He was just outstanding. Everything about his performance. People have got this belief that he went in there and had the kind of slugging match with him, and he pushed him and forced him back. He didn't. It was calculated, educated pressure. Yep. And, he outboxed Deontay Wilder. He was in range when he wants to punch, and just as Deontay Wilder wants to unload, he would come slightly out of range, or he would get so close that he leaned on him and weighed him down. And that's why, in my opinion, Deontay Wilder was completely exhausted from round 3 onwards. He was gone. He was legless from round 3 onwards.
What do you think about him throwing the towel in?
I know what Deontay Wilder's approach to it is. In my opinion, he's been saved to fight for another day. But you can't question Deontay Wilder's bravery. He wanted to continue, and that's how all fighters should be. But, we're usually too brave for ourselves, too brave for our own good, and it's upon, a man who cares, who's compassionate, which Mark Breland was, who threw that towel in. In my opinion, it was the right decision by Mark Breland, but also the right decision by from Deontay Wilder of wanting to continue and fight. That's the sign of a champion.
How would you have reacted, though, if you're in the ring, Tone, that comes in knowing you've got a sledgehammer of a right?
It's all right having that sledgehammer, Jim, but it's another thing getting it over when you're completely exhausted. Fighters he does have one-punch power, Deontay Wilder, but he was that exhausted, mate. I don't genuinely believe he could have mustered up that shot in the state he was in. He was legless from round 3 onwards. If anything, it shows he's got such a huge heart and he's willing to put it all on the line. Yeah. As he said, he wanted to go out on a shield, and I believe he would have had he been given the chance, but he's been saved to fight for another day by Mark Breland, which was a brilliant decision, in my opinion.
And the rematch, how do you think that's going to go? Do you reckon he's going to come back, or do you reckon he's going to swerve it?
You can never write someone like Deontay Wilder off completely 100% because he always has that puncher's chance. But at the same time, I just don't think he has the capability and the tools to defeat Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is probably the most natural fighting heavyweight I've seen since a prime Mike Tyson. He naturally loves to fight. You can tell that kid's been fighting since he was about 5 or 6. And he's just so natural when it comes to it. He relaxes on the inside, up close, at distance. He's comfortable in any way, shape or form. And that's something that Deontay Wilder isn't.
I'm going to ask a bit of a naughty question here, right? How much does the coin come into it when Wilder's going to make that decision? The money?
The money, it's... When you're negotiating, I'm not going to lie, it's all about the money. But the minute that contract's signed and the minute you've got what you want, the fighters, as fighters speaking on myself, I didn't care about the money. So when I wanted to bargain as hard as I could, like before I fought David Hay, and I wanted to get everything that I got, but it didn't, in all honesty. I got my pants pulled down for that first fight when it came to negotiating. But for me, I was just, once the contract was signed, the money didn't enter my head once. It was all about, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you. And I'm pretty sure that's how all champions, former world champions, will have that mentality. Some fighters won't, and they're the ones who usually quit or spew it halfway through fights. But as you've seen with Deontay Wilder, he wasn't caring nothing about any money, mate, when he was absolutely out on his feet. Because if he did care about the money, he'd have spewed it at the end of round 3.
I think we got that.
The clamour immediately started for Fury, AJ. When do you think we might see that? Yeah, you have to see it sooner rather than later, to be honest. Eventually, the money will determine that it happens. It's just too big of a fight, guys, not to happen. You've got to look at it as Great Britain has got 2 of the best heavyweights in the world. They own 4 of the belts.
It's been a long time since we've had that as well.
We've never had it, Jim. We've never had British fighters who have owned all 4 of the belts between 2 fights. AJ's got 3. Yeah. Tyson Fury's got 1. Now, everyone's going to have their opinion of who's number 1, who's not. One man's got 3 belts, the other man's got 1. I don't care who you want to label as number 1, number 2. The main thing is we just want to see them fight.
Yeah. How do you label it, and how do you think the fight's going to go?
On the last performance, obviously, everybody, you have to be pretty fair and say Tyson Fury looks like the outstanding contender now. He's undefeated. He's just beat and slayed, you know, the most dangerous heavyweight of our modern era in Deontay Wilder. At the same time, AJ's shown by going over Saudi, doing the rematch with Andy Ruiz, that he's had more strings to his bow all the time. For someone like AJ, the longer this fight takes to happen, the better it is for him, because he's only getting better. I believe Tyson Fury is now at the peak of his powers.
Yeah.
It's an amazing matchup. I still believe styles make fights, and everyone's going to say to me, oh, boo, you're sticking with the matchroom fighter. But I just think AJ's style would be all wrong for Tyson Fury. I believe that because Deontay Wilder has the bigger punch than AJ. There's no question in that. But Deontay Wilder is not technically good enough to put Tyson Fury in a position to nail him. And that's why he couldn't land on the night. Yeah. Anthony Joshua is technically good enough. You're talking about an Olympic gold medalist here. A guy who technically and fundamentally is good. You know, he does have speed. He's a brilliant athlete. He functions the right way, you know. And I just feel that he would get to Tyson Fury. Right, Don't get me wrong, it would have to be within 6 rounds. Because anyone goes past 6 rounds, someone like Tyson Fury, you've lost. The guy's such an immense boxer. He can adapt in fights. Yeah. He's versatile, and he's just an amazing fighter. But listen, it's a fight that we all want to see, and we have to see, because if boxing's going to remain one of the premier sports in the world, we need to see the best face the best.
Yeah. Well said.